Been 17 months, 3 weeks, and nearly 6 days.
This is Gideon.
I don't want Jodie to be dead.
She's not dead. But I won't give up.
I don't know where Gideon is.
Nothing's gonna stop me. I will find her.
This is not the end of it!
Someone knows something. Someone's hiding something. What you know about Jodie? But I'm getting closer.
Jodie!
And I can guarantee you one thing. The truth will out.
A Sky original. Save Me Too. All episodes available now.
Well, here's a question for you. Can you imagine Waterford in 40 years? Now, if you consider how much has even changed in the last decade, especially when it comes to digital technology and everything, what's the place going to be like in 4 decades' time? Maybe we'll have come full circle with everything. Who knows? Well, there is an exhibition looking at just that. It's called Waterford 40 Years From Now. It's a selection of works by second level students from the Salle College, Waterpark College, St Angela's Ursuline Waterford and Newtown School. And it is happening tomorrow evening, Wednesday, January 15th at 7:30 at Garter Lane Arts Centre, which often holds great exhibitions, might I add. I'm delighted to be joined in studio to talk more about all this by Sandra Kelly, Visual Arts and Education Manager at Garter Lane, and by Derek Corcoran, who is the Community Employment Supervisor at Garter Lane. How are you guys? How are things?
Great, good.
Good. Sandra, I'm going to start with you. Welcome back to On the Fringe, by the way. Where did all this concept come from, for starters?
So myself and Derek sat down, I'd say mid last year, and talked about the success of what I like about the Cultural Quarter project that we ran with secondary school students last year. And we decided that for this year's project, we'd look at Waterford, because the sense of community that we got from last year's project was just immense. So we decided to apply for creative Waterford funding for our second year, and we're very happy to say we were very successful in that. And we reached out to all the schools in Waterford City and County, and we have now Salle College, Waterpark, Newtown School and St Angela's all participating in this year's project. So we decided that we'd set it 40 years from now, so the students could get excited about the changes that they'd see within the 40 years, and that they could envision what adulthood would look like in Waterford. So the exhibition is so varied and so diverse, and it's a really exciting time to see how the students who were involved envision the changes happening. It's incredible.
It's an interesting one because, you know, when you're a teenager, so I'm presuming you're looking at kind of 15, 16, 17-year-olds here, to imagine what it would be like to be in your mid to late 50s is as alien a concept as imagining being from the planet Mars. I mean, it seems like it's never going to come along. So I would imagine a lot of the projections were quite futuristic, maybe?
Yeah, it's really varied, I have to say. So it was really exciting for me to get to go out with Jennie O'Neill to work with the students, to talk to the students about what age they're going to be in 40 years. Because you have to remember, some of the students are only in second year, so they're going to be quite young still in 40 years.
They don't think that, though.
No, not at all. But it was really exciting to talk about the changes that they've even seen in the past 5 years that have been immense. So we talked about the things that they really enjoy in their personal lives, whether it's sports or video games, and how that could even change in the next 10 years, and then we built it forward to 40. So we really tried to keep each piece personal to the artist that was making it. It's not all glitz and glamour in the future. There is a little bit of an apocalyptic kind of vibe happening as well. There's some really strong teams, but the one thing that really goes through this entire project is this absolute sense of pride for Waterford, which as a non-Waterford person, I have to say it's really beautiful to see.
And it's also a great exercise, like you alluded to there, in bringing out the skills of the students and the different leanings they might have. Like, you might spot someone maybe who could be a future architect, or maybe who would be a future IT worker, or maybe a future artist, just based on what they look for or what they look out for in life and into the future.
Yeah, and I have to say it's been really lovely to see how each student tackles the project, because each school was given the same blurb and to work from that idea, and each school has approached it so differently, and that's such a credit to the teachers who've been involved in this project, because without them this wouldn't have happened. but they also gave the students this confidence to be able to participate in a project, to have their work in a gallery, in a public space. So for that, it's incredible. You can see such skill sets. You can see people who are just playing with material. You have others that are so strong in concept. It's a really great exhibition to definitely kickstart 2020 for us, but also for working with the schools. It's been such a pleasure. And again, the teachers are the ones who've really drove this forward for us.
Great. Derek, I'm going to switch over to you. Tell me a little bit about your role, I suppose, in Garter Lane. You are the Community Employment Supervisor. So what does that involve in terms of the work you do day to day?
Okay, so we have 17 participants that are employed between the two buildings in Garter Lane. And they work in different varied positions, everything from technical assistants to exhibition assistants to box office is probably our big one. So across the board, 17 people that are the backbone really of Garter Lane Arts Centre, you know. So.
And it's something people mightn't be aware of that goes on at Garter Lane as well, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, normally we just get a participant that comes on for a year. But sometimes they stay on if they're interested in doing some training and they wanted to, you know, progress. They can stay on for up to 3 years. So most people want to stay with us once they join the family.
Great. Do you like it there yourself?
I love it. Yeah, it's great. I mean, it's varied. Every week is different. We have different events that go on between cinema, theatre, exhibitions. We're working with every demographic possible. That's from kids from the age of 6 years of age that are coming into workshops all the way up to, you know, friends of Garter Lane that are coming to see shows 70, 80, 90 years of age, you know. So
and you're right in the heart of the city centre there as well, in the cultural quarter, which is great.
Yeah, cultural quarter, which has really taken off in the last year or two. And I suppose the cultural quarter would have inspired some of the exhibitions that we do and the work that we do with some of the kids as well. So, it's great.
Now, this particular exhibition, and, you know, Sandra kind of gave some insight there into, I suppose, the talent and the vision of children who have to project themselves into the future. Don't want to give too much away, but I mean, there has been a lot of people, I suppose, involved in this. And the official opening, for example, is by Rob Cass, who is involved in the North Quays project, director of Falcon Real Estate. You have Mount Sign's Austin Gleeson, Colin Williamson of Waterford Whispers News will be there, Ian Fewer, the architect, and Moira Henry, another architect as well, and Emma Harron from the Cultural Quarter. And they're going to be among some of the guests attending. So I suppose that gives a good nod to, like what Sandra said, is the variation that people can expect at this exhibition.
Yes, yeah. Rob approached us when he saw that we were doing 40 years from now. I mean, that's great for us, because when we come up with an idea like this, to be approached then from someone like Rob Cass, who is the developer for the North Quays, and for him to bring, you know, some of the guests with him, it just shows the interest that there is out there in Waterford for projects like this, you know, so it's really exciting. And
I think we need to remember as well that students and young people are the future. They're the future workers, the future generation, the future people who will live in Waterford. So it is their city and their county in many ways. And sometimes maybe I think as older people we don't respect that enough.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and you really see it when they start putting pen to paper, you know, brush to paper as well, and the materials that they're using. Like, the kids express themselves, and to see, as Sandra has said, you know, the pride in Waterford, all the Reginald's Towers coming up, all the little, the different places around Waterford are being identified by the kids themselves. It's great to see that, you know, it's amazing. Is
there anything in particular you saw that you thought, wow, I haven't thought about that before, or wow, that could really work in Waterford, or maybe, oh God, I hope that doesn't happen?
There is a lot of futuristic looking. It was amazing because the environment was really the main theme that came out, and which was obviously with the environmental year that we've had. That was a big influence, and that was the thread that tied, I think, the 3 or 4 schools together. So the rising river, the bridge was another big theme. Like, we left the kids decide themselves what they wanted to do, but there definitely is that thread going through it of the environment. And there's a fear, you know, of that, what's going to happen in the future. So that was kind of, I suppose I didn't think it was going to be that obvious, but it comes through, you know. Anything
kind of robotic or kind of, you know, very much kind of traditionally sciencey futuristic there?
There's a couple of really, really futuristic looking buildings that are there with all kinds of ideas and robots, and they're expressed through different materials, like whether it's through clay or on paper, or there's a couple of lovely sculptures that have been built. And the brilliant thing about this is that you can see that some of these kids have, pulled at their dad's jumpers and said, Dad, give us a hand with this, and dads have been searching for the bit of 2x4 in the shed, to cutting up bits and pieces. So it's come from the whole environmental thing is coming back into the families. That was lovely to see as well,
It is happening, it's opening tomorrow night, Wednesday, January 15th. How long, Sandra, is this exhibition going to be at Garter Lane for members of the public to come in and see?
It is only going to run for a week, so it is open today. So from the 14th to the 18th, it will be open to the public.
And then the official opening is tomorrow evening.
Yeah.
Right.
And we have workshops as well booked in with schools, but sadly the weather is kind of deterring. But we had over 420 bookings to just see the exhibition alone, which I think it's such a credit to the schools, the work that they've done, and also the interest that's there for the future of Waterford.
It's brilliant. It's called Waterford 40 Years From Now. So wander into Garter Lane if you're around the city, I suppose, and go and have a look at it.
It's Tuesday to Saturday, it's 11 to 5:30.
Great stuff. Sandra Kelly and Derek Corcoran, both of Garter Lane. Well done. And like you said, Garter Lane Arts Centre for the coming week, you can go and have a look at that exhibition by students from around Waterford. Waterford 40 Years From Now. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
At Bank of Ireland, we want our customers and colleagues to stay safe and well. Now more than ever, it's important to know that your financial well-being is our priority. We have a range of supports available for our personal and business customers with easy online applications. Our dedicated staff are working to support you. But if you're cocooning or self-isolating at home, you can now nominate a family member or trusted friend to do your banking for you. We're also giving a €1 million emergency fund to support our communities right now. To find out more, visit bankofireland.com. Take care. Bank of Ireland. Bank of Ireland is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland.